Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, denizens of the internet, beware. Lens is coming again, and it's showtime. Hi, guys. Here we are again. Really don't want to see the tights underneath that sort of kilt action he's got going on. Just saying. I wonder how many times I say just saying. I think I'm just saying pretty frequently. The Pirates of the Ravenous can tell you more about Kellick's plans. I'm sure they can.
Eat my dust!
Well, you could eat my dust, too. That would be a plan you could have. So, for any new players who are still free-to-players, there's a city here called Lion's Arch. It's not one of the starting cities. You can't teleport there until you're level 35 if you're on a free-to-play. I think you can come in from Gendarin Fields, but I'm not sure. Regardless, we will come in from over here. Into Gendarin Fields. Gendarin Fields forever. Old guy music reference, but hey, come on, it's the Beatles. You could be forgiven for getting that reference. While we're here, we'll go ahead and I think there's a waypoint inside. We'll grab that. Always a good idea if you're in transit from place to place. At least get any waypoints.
No, Merle. We're past your
I
prime.
mean, you could grab the Vista up there too, but it's the waypoints. It's what you really want to make sure you get. We could grab the hero point, but no, we're fine. That is a follow from Lord Stormy49. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome. Let me grab my rewards for leveling up yet again, level 34. I have a spiel. Here it comes. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. And we've got storyline quest. All right, Agent Ihan. Or as I call him, Ihan Solo.
Advocate, over here. Keep your voice low.
Came up with that joke
The pirates are still spooked
yesterday.
from
Feel a
Kellick's
little
attack.
bit ashamed that I never
They
came
won't
up
be
with
quick
it
to
before.
trust newcomers.
We need them to tell us what they know. How do we get them to talk?
Don't worry, Advocate. The Order's been thinking ahead. It's what we do.
I have rules?
The Order of Whispers is the oldest
When did that
organization
happen?
in Tyria. We've managed to survive this long because we always have a plan.
All right, Ihan, I'm listening. What do you suggest we do?
I've hidden special torches on the outskirts of the pirate camp. They're enchanted with pure life force by a priest of Melandru. The power of these torches will draw in the undead, but nobody else will notice the difference.
Ah, tricky.
Draw in the undead. That's dangerous. People could get hurt.
Well, only pirates.
These are no innocents, Advocate. They're pirates. And a cutthroat bunch at that.
See?
Bear that in mind. Disguise yourself and attempt to join the crew. When the undead attack, prove yourself defending the camp. They'll trust you after that. I'll maintain the torches and watch for undead. I'll be nearby in case the situation escalates out of control.
Oh, the don't be a dick? Yeah, but I can't help it. I'm always a dick. It's not my fault. I mean, it's entirely my fault, but, I mean, you know, not my fault. Just my responsibility. Kind of the same thing. Yeah, okay, it's my fault. Oh, I had never even considered that. That not that kind of dysfunction.
You there. If you have business, speak to
You're right, that is actually a pretty good joke, though.
says, yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil had done for
I may have to change my spiel, because now I'll never be able to unthink that. Well, you'll fit right in. With the streamer, at least. If you're a pain in the ass. The reference, by the way, was I have the old gamer tag, and I used the word dysfunction to describe me. But that's part of the body that is not breaking down yet.
Splendid view, isn't it? Only thing missing is our bloody ship. We never should have let that Seraph dog board the Ravenous again.
Can't even spell
Ravenous
dysfunction.
died a noble death.
I understood.
On fire and full of holes.
Communication
she went
is
down
about
fighting, like the grand dame she was.
Context and
Aye,
information. I
that
understood
she did.
exactly what you meant.
That she did.
And
Here,
I mistyped
who's this
frequently.
new lubber come to stare
I
at
hate
us?
it, but I do it frequently.
Reporting for duty, Captain. They call
So
me
it
Yard
wasn't that
Dog,
you didn't know how to spell. You
rock dog
mistyped,
of the
obviously.
Eastern
That's
Sea.
just human.
I hear you're looking for a new crew.
You heard wrong. We're looking for brothers and sisters of fortune. Sailors that'll stand by us when the blood starts flowing. Now sling your hook before I...
Captain, the undead are back. We're under attack.
Damn them!
Context.
Alive, scallywags.
Context,
Time
context,
for
context.
some payback. You there, Yardarm! If you want to earn a berth on my ship, draw your weapon and risk your neck with the rest of us.
I didn't just, you know, I'm not just... I'm actually the one risking your neck, guys. I summoned him a little bit. It's a prank, bro. Holy crap, holy, okay. They don't like me, that's obvious. They, honest goodness, do not care for me. Oh, it's a brute. No wonder. Oh, he hits hard. And sadly, I've been playing enough PoE 2 that I'm trying to dodge by hitting space, and that's not the right key. Good morning, Fizbic. Welcome back. I'm raising pirates from the dead. Life is good. Oh, that's a plague jar. And once again, I did it again. Trying to dodge with the spacebar is not gonna cut it. Alright, time to start rezzing people again. Now goes the advising of the stuff. I've not had much in the way of questions. A couple. When I finish this instance bit, I will most likely spend a little time talking about the mechanics behind skills. Why is everything, and why am I continuing to dodge with the wrong bleeping key? Why is everything hitting me so freaking hard? I've used my elite skill. Okay, we'll just res everybody again. I'm not evidently very good at fighting, but I'm just fine at resing. But before him, give me just a second. That button. There we go. We've got, presumably for logging in, yay, rewards just for existing. Not going to complain.
You're talking.
You did well, Yard Arm, but if you're looking to join my crew, fighting ain't enough. You need a sharp wit, too. My wit? What does that have to do with anything? I always have trouble making money in-game, and never managed to acquire either of the flying mounts because you're always broke. For me, a large part of it was simply logging in every day to get the 28 days of rewards that you used to get for logging in. You know, you'd log in and you'd get day one, log in, and the next time you logged in, you'd get day two. And so if you just logged in every day, you got a lot of stuff with value. My recommendation now for people who want to make relatively easy money is there are some things in the Wizard's Vault. You can, for 540 of the Astral Acclaim, you can get yourself 90 gold every 3 months. Mystic Coins, you can get a bunch of those. And they sell for, what, a gold and a half or 2 gold? And if you can't log out, drink prune juice, or so you've heard. Oh, I get it. Another one. Yeah, but I would assume that if you did that, you wouldn't actually be logging out. Out, yes, but not necessarily logging. So there are other things in here that you can buy. You can buy laurels and use the laurels to buy crafting materials and sell the crafting materials. So there are a number of things in here that you can turn into cash. That is one good way of making some extra money. But I can certainly understand the difficulty in that for a long time, I was never over more than a couple of hundred gold. Which sounds like a lot, but in game terms, isn't really. My wit, what does that have to do with anything? Listen here, matey. My crew has to settle scores with words, or we'd kill each other off. Speak with Gates. She'll set you to rights. Okay. Gates? Gates? Hi, Gates.
Yeah.
You ready for your ears to turn blue? Really? Flat out having 20 gold at any time? Yeah, you've got to... Well, for me, it was having that routine of logging in, of basically almost never spending, unless I'm making significant purchases. So, for instance, I don't think I have spent any gold on anything other than parts for making legendaries for 2 years? 3 years? Something like that. Basically, if it's not something the only exception being when I have a new alt, like this guy, get to 80, and I may have to buy a few materials to make some of their gear at level 80. But even then, it's usually just going to be a couple of gold. Being aware of value, the things that you're never going to use that you can sell. Keeping in mind there's always the 15% cut for the auction house. Alrighty, here we go. Shut your hatch, you lily-livered bilge rat. What did you call me, you grog-guzzling blowfish? Ooh, that's the spirit. You trying to intimidate me, you lice-infested hammock hanger? I'm not just trying, you pox-faced scab. You're shaking in your boots. Good one. I'll gut you like a trout, you scurvy, buck-toothed, flea-bitten child of a sea hag. Bring it on, you sea-fearing, tide-turning, half-witted poop deck. That was amazing. Well done, you salty dog. Captain, this is a good one.
Swell.
fight like a pack of wolves, Yardarm. I'd take you aboard in the blink of a mermaid's eye. Trouble is, my ship is busy cozying up with the seafloor. Gates, you tell the tale. Laying out our bad luck'll set me to weeping like a quaggan.
A seraph by the name of Kellock came calling on our seer. Naturally, we thought we'd feed him to the sharks, but he had coin and promise of more. We plundered an Orient cruiser.
Well, there's your
plucked our
first
treasures
mistake.
right under the old dragon's nose. Kellock wanted the lot. We sold him for a pretty penny. Then he comes back a few nights later, screaming for the seer Alastia Crow. He grabs her by the throat and says he'll kill her unless she removes some curse he's under. Behind him come undead like the plague. He ignores them, doesn't even know they're there, and I hear Alastia whisper to him, "Blood of royalty." Kellock stabs Alastia and rushes off screaming, leaving us
He
there
sounds
to
like a nice
mercy of
fellow.
the undead. They scuttled our ship and ruined everything.
That's the sad story of the landlocked Ravenous. These are bitter days to be a pirate.
Oh,
Sorry to hear that. But I'm looking for work as a sailor, not a sellsword. If your ship's not seaworthy, it's best we part ways.
worst pirates ever. Our little undead attack went off without a hitch. How to play with the pirates. I still think it was risky, but it paid off in spades. I know what Alastia told Kellock. Risk is measured by reward, Advocate. What'd you find out? After he was corrupted, he went to Alastia to find out how to remove the dragon's curse. Remove it? That's not possible. Zlatan corruption can't be undone. We know that, but Kellock didn't. And Alastia lied. She told him he needed the blood of royalty. By Melandru, Kellock's going to attack Queen Jenna. We must send word to Captain Thackeray right away. I'll meet you back in Divinity's Reach. So, I said I was going to talk a little bit for any new players about the skills themselves, because I've been kind of leaving that. Probably should have covered that earlier. So, up here we have where your class mechanics are generally going to be. I have talked about these. These little pips will light up when you have a clone, and these will destroy your clones and generate different effects. From damage to confusion, where they damage themselves when they do stuff, to a stun, and to being immune to conditions and damage for a second or two. These are the regular skills. Combat skills in the most case, but sometimes they're defensive as well. The first three are from your main hand weapon. The last two are from your offhand. And if you're using a two-handed weapon, all five are for the two-handed weapon. You've got a healing skill, an elite skill, and 3 utility skills. But more than that, good evening to you, your dudeness. You can see here, this is an auto attack. If you look closely at the outline, you can see a pair of arrows around it, because this is an auto attack, and it will do the first thing, the second thing, and then the third thing in order. A lot of build guides will tell you to put in like several rotations of an auto attack chain to fill in some time. Usually the third of the 3 things, I think it's always 3, I think, will usually do the most damage or generate the most effect. So in this case, first whack is doing a little bit of damage, inflicting a vulnerability, which is a debuff on the mob. Second one looks like exactly the same stuff. And the third one is, if you have boons, buffs on yourself, it does more damage. Oh, sorry. If they have a boon, it rips the boon off of them and does more damage. If not, it does less damage. And all of these auto attacks hit up to 3. This is a heavy-hitting attack. You strike your foe with a flurry of blows. You hit them 8 times, hitting up to 3 targets. And you are also, at the start, blurred for a second, evading all attacks. This is going to cripple and give vuln to mobs. But what it does initially is it summons an illusion that leaps at them and cripples them. If you hit it a second time, you and the clone swap places. So that's sort of a movement skill. This is the illusionary riposte. Riposte, where you clone and block the foe to create an illusion when attacked. And then, if they attack you, you counterattack and also do a defiance break on them. And lastly, this is a phantasm. It summons a swordsman. He runs at them, he attacks, turns into a clone, and it's a sword strike. Also it gives 8 stacks of might, which increases your damage, both for power and conditions. Lastly, you'll note almost at the very bottom, it has combo, finisher, leap. Combos are a little bit different and under-described function of Guild Wars 2. They act a little bit, if you've ever played Lord of the Rings Online, like miniature fellowship maneuvers. They are a 2-part function. Some skills will create a field, usually like a circular field around either where you targeted it or around yourself. And there are, 6 or 8 different kinds of fields. Darkness fields, light fields, water fields, fire fields, that kind of thing. A finisher, then, I think there's like 5 of those, like leap or projectile. Or this one is a leap finisher. And that combination of a field and a finisher will produce an effect. So this build doesn't, as I currently have it set up, does not have any field generators. But it does have light fields that it can generate with other weapons. So if I had if I was using the staff, I could use the staff to create a light field, swap into this, hit 5, and get a leap finisher to a light field. I think light fields tend to remove a condition from you. Basically, they heal a condition off of you. And usually, I think also all of your friends who are in the area. The classic example of a field and a finisher is a fire field, say a wall of fire, and a projectile finisher, say an arrow shot. If there's a fire field cast by your friend, the elementalist, in a flame wall, and you are a ranger and you shoot an arrow through it with a projectile finisher, it'll do the regular damage, but it will also do extra fire damage. That's a combo. Combos a lot of time aren't obvious and are often an underlooked part of the game, but they can substantially increase your ability to help other characters that you're playing with or around, to help yourself. It's a little harder to do field generation and finishing on your own. But if you're in a group of players working on like a world event or something, a lot of times there's going to be ground effects that you can take advantage of. If everyone's getting hit with conditions, having the ability to drop a light field, and then almost any finisher that anyone else is using will cleanse one condition from each of the players. And so those are the sorts of things you're looking at. Now, the other thing we currently have equipped is, I believe, a staff and pistol. Necros have some good finishers and fields with their stuff. Yeah, if a lot of classes don't have easy access to both fields and finishers. Some have very easy access to it, and that's kind of one of the balance things. Certainly, like Necros have wells, as an example. I think all of the wells are fields, but I'm not positive. And well is just a big circular area effect. Might have damage, might have a debuff, that kind of thing. And so being able to produce that, maybe swap to a different weapon, use a finisher, can provide a lot of sort of secondary function to skills. It's not something you need to know about in any detail as a new player, but it is something you probably should be aware of. Now here we have again, this is the chain attack, the auto attack. In this case, it's inflicting torment, which is a condition that does damage and does increased damage if they stand still. This is, again, a block and counterattack skill. This is confusion. It does damage and also inflicts 7 stacks of confusion on the mob, so whenever they do anything, they take even more damage. The pistol creates a phantasm, again, he shoots the gun, and then turns into a clone. This does cripple and bleeding. And then this is Magic Bullet, which is a shot that hits multiple foes, inflicting, again, multiple conditions. Now, the way I've set this up is not ideal. But it's fine for leveling. If you're a new player and you're just punching your buttons when they become lit up again and are able to be used, you're probably doing fine. But in the long term, you're going to want to be able to be a little bit more knowledgeable. So, for instance, what we see here is this has got bleeding and confusion and torment. And these are all conditions. A snare would go hand in hand with immobility buffs. Yeah. To make them unable to move, and then when they can move, to slow them down. They're going to be dead before they get close to you. So you can see with all of these conditions here, we do a lot of condition damage. Torment, confusion, bleeding. Over here, on this set of weapons, none of the conditions we're doing are damage. What this means is this is a set of weapons that does mostly what we call power damage or strike damage, which is if I hit you for 100 points, you take 100 points. This is mostly condition damage, where I hit you and maybe you take 20 points or for, say, 8 seconds, or 50 points for 4 seconds each. So condition damage is one type of damage, and power or strike damage is a second type of damage. And normally, you're going to want to, if you're just doing a PvP build, say for open world and whatnot, you're going to want to go with one of the two. And the reason is your armor and your weapons. This has power and precision. But a lot of things will end up having condition damage. Up this far I've been building for power. So, in fact, my sword build is probably going to perform better than my scepter pistol build, because I only have 5 points into condition damage, whereas my power has 348. So I'm doing more power or strike damage extra from my gear. And so if I were looking to optimize right now, I would probably want to swap out of scepter and pistol. It's, again, not something you need to worry about at low levels while you're just leveling up and stuff, but it's something you should be aware of, that at some point, as you get closer to the end game, you're going to want to look at the skills, find out the skills you like, try all of the various and sundry skills to find out the ones that feel good or feel especially effective. And with that knowledge, then use that to inform your decision as to, okay, what do I want to build? How do I want this to look? You inflict emotional damage by tossing insults about people's armor, etc. Well, that always works. Guild Wars 2 players are generally very touchy about their build. But for leveling, this is fine. And what you will find is as you play, certain skills will stand out to you. And that's, as an example, my most played class is Guardian. And I was initially playing Elementalist. I died a lot. I found I didn't die much on my Guardian. And I found a combination of skills that seemed to work really, really well. And if you're a Guardian player, you're probably familiar with Greatsword 342. Greatsword is a two-handed sword. 3 is a leap, I believe a leap finisher. You leap into combat and blind all the enemy mobs around you. They all get 1 stack of blind, which means their next attack is going to miss. You hit 4, and that drops a seal. The seal does damage, and is also a field. You then hit 2, which is a spinning attack that throws out a bunch of projectiles, and is a projectile finisher. So the field you get from the sigil you drop on the ground is a light field. The projectile finisher is a condition removal. So You jump in, blind everybody so their first hit misses, drop a field, which damages all of them, and then spin to attack, and that does a lot of damage in an area and also removes conditions from it. And that's the sort of combination that you can make, that when you feel it in action, when you're playing, and I didn't realize about fields, and I knew nothing about finishers, but I realized that if I did 3-4-2 on my Guardian, I tended to wipe out batches of mobs really quickly. And that's what you will find. So for instance, in this build, the main hand sword, Blurred Frenzy, does a lot of damage to 3 mobs at once. So that is a strong sort of skill where you put it in your head, okay, that one works really well. And if I'm going to build, say, a power build, sword, main hand, pretty good. And that's the kind of way you have to look at particularly these skills, but not just that. There's also the skills over here. Now, for instance, the healing skills, I currently know only 3 of them. 2 of them I will get from various other spec lines. No, actually, skill lines. And you can choose them, depending on whichever ones you like for the effect. The reason I go with this one is primarily because it's on a 20-second cooldown. This one's on a 30-second cooldown. It does a lot of healing, 885. And you also get a heal when you summon an illusion. This one does 885. Wow, same amount. Cool. But also removes a condition and is faster. This one has some other effects like the heal on illusion summons. So that's why I'm using this one. This one is a skill that doesn't do much. Gives you stealth, which seems a little weird, but it means they can't attack you. Mobs can't attack you for 3 seconds. But the real reason I have it on is for the stun break. If you get knocked down or stunned or frozen, the stun break part of this skill immediately makes you able to do stuff again. A stun break is generally a very useful utility skill to have, especially if you can find something else that it does as well. This is Phantasmal Defender. It creates a phantasm and he taunts all the mobs around. So the Phantasmal Defender, gets attacked instead of you. Gives you a few seconds to heal if necessary, pull back a little bit, launch a big attack, something like that. This is a Signet. Signets are pretty straightforward. They have a passive effect and an active effect. The passive effect on this is it constantly gives me swiftness every few seconds, and it also gives me, well, a second buff every few seconds. You can see it. They're appearing right out here. I think every 10 seconds, it gives me like 3 seconds of swiftness, something like that. Maybe more like 5. Where's the swiftness? Where's the swiftness? I don't see where it's saying the swiftness. I'm not seeing it because I'm blind. 3 seconds. Okay. And then if you activate it, it extends the duration of all boons on you by 3 seconds. Now, it stops generating the additional random boons and swiftness for 20 seconds that it takes to cool down. But it will give you an extra 3 seconds. You've got a bunch of skills up. You're at an important moment in the fight. You can hit that, and all of those buffs and everything will stick around for an extra 3 seconds. And then lastly, there are the elite skills. Now, sadly, I don't have any of my elite skills unlocked from the Mesmer skill tree. But every class has racial elite skills. Sadly, they're not very good. But they're better than nothing. This will summon 2 Hounds of Balthazar to fight for 30 seconds, and it has a 4-minute cooldown. So those are... Whoops. Flashbanged myself. So those are the utility skills, the healing, 3 utility skills, and the elite skill. And what you'll want to do, it's always tempting to put pure damage skills in here because everyone wants to do more damage. But they're called utility skills for a reason. A lot of times having something that can just save you from a bad situation. Yeah, I love leveling tunes too. This is my 40th on the main account. I have 9 more on an alt account at the cat. So utility skills can be very... Every time you pop by, I'm leveling. Well, I mean, I do play a lot of other games as well. About a third of my streaming has been Guild Wars 2. But yeah, it's not uncommon for me to be leveling. The other thing, well, it could also look like leveling because a lot of times if I'm just futzing around, just playing whatever, I enjoy the open world gameplay. And frankly, open world gameplay and leveling gameplay, pretty much the same thing. So with the utility skills, though, it can be useful sometimes to have a bit of utility. I like to have, for instance, a stun break on most of my characters. Usually on the 7 button, so I can always hit it. But again, as you're leveling, it's fine to just go with more damage. If you die occasionally, or get downed occasionally, it's not a huge deal. I have to return to Divinity's Reach around. Oh, I'm sorry, Divinity's Reach. Yeah, I made a dirty joke. What can I say? In we go. Liam, 6, or possibly Kix, has just followed. Thank you very much for the follow. I have a little spiel. Here it comes. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, but not erectile, and unfunction occasionally. Thank you very much for following. I appreciate it very much, and welcome. See what you've done to me? I'm never going to be able to make my spiel again without worrying about the erectile. Hi, Misty. You've ruined me for life. You completely knocked me off my game.
That looks
And it's possible, the worst part, is that I didn't think of it first. Alright, here we are, guys.
Eat my dust.
Yeah, eat my dust. You first, Ihan.
May the Six watch.
Summoning undead. Who does that?
Captain Thackeray, I'm glad you're here. We've got an urgent situation. Kellick's been corrupted by Orion artifacts. The pirate Alastia told him that the Queen's blood will cure the corruption.
Dwayne has mercy. I have to protect the Queen. We can't let him near her.
I think
Especially
the
not her
Undead are
feet. We
following
know,
him
Logan.
because he has the artifact. As long as he's out there, they'll be right on his heels.
We don't have much time. The undead mob he's leading is just getting bigger. Kellock's growing more dangerous by the second.
We can't just think of the Queen. We have to think of Kryda. If we just defend her, Logan, Kellick will destroy every town from Lion's Arch to Divinity's Reach.
You're right. Damn it.
Damn it.
When it comes to my duty to the Queen...
I have a little over
listen,
5,000.
What's the plan?
It's time to assault Kellack head-on. In the vigil, we swear an oath to stand between the darkness and the light.
I just actually
The only way
finished
to be sure
map
is to
completion
face
on
this
a
threat
third
directly.
character
Advocate,
week or
join
two
us.
ago.
You'd make a fine member of the vigil. and
Yeah, I
I'd be
did the
proud to
last,
fight by
I don't
your
know,
side.
30% or so on
Don't
stream.
be thick-headed, Hiroki. Knowledge is power.
No, not so much. Not compared.
Priory's research is conclusive. The Advocate would be much better suited among our scholars. Come,
Subject
Advocate.
Pang was doing something a
We
few
can
days
use the
ago,
Lord his
and
Virgin
I
enchantment
asked,
to
you know,
protect the Queen and neutralize this threat.
I think like
intelligently.
he'd seen something he wasn't aware of. And,
Kellick has two things on his side.
you know, I asked,
An
and
army
what's
of
the
undead
slash age
and complete
on
insanity.
the account?
We have to use cunning,
So I'm a little over
lure him in,
5,000 between the
and
two
then trick him
accounts.
into destroying himself.
His main account, I believe, was
The Order of Whispers wants you on our
34,000
side, Advocate.
hours.
All you have to do is say the word.
That's
All right, everyone.
17
Give me a
years
moment to discuss my
of
options with
employment.
Captain Thackeray.
Standard,
Then I'll let you know how I'm
2,080
going to proceed.
hours.
Good to see you.
17 years. Now, obviously, a lot of us have spent time with the game up. How is that even possible? There's another streamer, Melangel Amethest, and she's only been playing for like 4 or 5 years, and she had like 12,000 in. So,
Eat my dust.
dedication and a deep, abiding love for the game. I mean, I love the game. Sometimes I bleeping hate the game, but I love the game. I wouldn't have all those hours. It wouldn't be my most streamed game by a factor of like 3. It drives me crazy sometimes. How do I join an order? I am ready to join an order. Yep. Yeah, I know. Well, let's see. I have over 6,000 in WoW. Because in WoW, I just basically took my most played characters and added up the hours. So I'm over 6,000 there. I'm almost 6,000 in Lord of the Rings Online, where I did the same thing, adding up my most played characters. I am, well, let's see, /age. On this account, I'm 4,691 hours. I have 400 or 500 on my alt account as well. So between those 3 games, I'm at about 16,000 hours. And still, Pang's got twice as much. By the way, Pang, very good streamer. Let's see, there are 3 choices. You get to the pearly gates and I look back on life, you can be happy I spent life how I wanted to spend, and that's it. Yeah, I am retired, and to no one's surprise who's watching me right this instant, this is how I spend my time. You know, I read some, don't really watch TV. I play computer games. It's my form of entertainment. I know a lot of people, when they retire, they don't know what to do with themselves. That was not a problem for me. Hope that it make it where I am. Me too. I have been quite lucky. I'm not like a rich or anything, but I don't think I'm in any danger of ending up on the streets. So, yeah, I'm very, very lucky to be able to retire and play computer games. Knock on wood. Play Lotro. Lotro is, I think, my 2nd or 3rd most played game on stream. I have played it in the past. I'm a little bit disenchanted with it after the expansion for Umbar. I have to say, they kind of lost me. I spent 3 days, I think, trying to get to Umbar, and it just felt like the content had been designed to stretch out the journey, and it wasn't even a very interesting journey in that time. But I will keep it in mind. I'm certainly not averse to playing it again. I also have done a number of what I call free-to-play throughs, where I take a game that I've played, like Guild Wars 2 or Lord of the Rings Online, even stuff like Warframe, and create a new account and approach it as if I were a new player, trying the free-to-play experience. And, for instance, Lord of the Rings Online, the free-to-play experience, I don't think is too much of a burden until you get to the mid-30s level, at which point certain game mechanics become really a drudgery, and at that point, if you like the game, you should probably buy in for some amount of money. Guild Wars 2, you get to level 80 and you've run through the storyline, and if you really like it, you know, if at worst case, wait for a sale and buy the Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns pack when it's on sale. Most games that are free to play, there comes a point where the pain points get to be enough that it's sort of, I'm done, or I'm going to put some money in. Do I do any of the end game stuff? I've done a few fractals. I've done no raids, no strikes. One strike. Back when you needed to do the Kainang Overlook to get the turtle mount. That's the only strike I've done. And I'm embarrassed to say I probably spent 2/3 of that dead. I would not be averse to doing raiding, but I did my time in active raiding in WoW. I raided in vanilla, so we raided Karazhan. We raided AQ20 with 17 or 18 people. So, I've done my time in raiding, and I prefer a more casual gaming experience. Now, I understand that raiding can be casual. It's not like you have to do everything in challenge mode. I just don't have a regular group I play with. There are some other streamers I'll occasionally hop on, and we'll do some fractals or something else.
Armored up.
But I'm not really an endgame player. I am more of a solo player. So we have 3 people to choose from. I'm not going to choose Joe Sear. Mostly because you get a mentor, and I can't stand the mentor for the Priory. So that leaves Hiroki and Ihan, and the agent you get from the Order of Whispers is the most fun. So,
Yes?
I'll join the Order of Whispers. Kellock is only the beginning. Doodly doopy doop doop. Give me a sword. Alright, that is a 310 sword. It is better than my current offhand. We got 3 more items. Can't wear it. Is it better than my current scepter? It is better than my current scepter.
The caravan from
Shoes I can't wear.
And we're having trouble getting meat and milk from the outlying ranches.
Stockpiling staples was the right call.
Salvage, 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 salvage. No new items of attire, so no more random dies. Now, most of the time, I'm either leveling a new character or I'm doing open world stuff. The luck things. Over time, and you know how many hours I've got in the game, they add to your magic find. So for me to get to 207% magic find, I'm 9,880 out of 22,100. My understanding is that to actually double your magic find would take 1,000%. There is also a use for them. An actual use for them. Artificers, I believe it is, can make the smaller ones into the bigger ones in a non-lossy fashion so that you don't lose any luck if you choose to make them bigger, because the exotic quality ones are used as an event currency, I think, for when we have the Lunar Festival. Magic Find Increase is also used to craft one of the legendaries as well. Yeah, so it's also used as a crafting material.
Eat my dust.
When they stack up in your inventory, you either can consume them, or if you have, I believe it's an artificer, you can shrink them so that they use the exact same amount. So like 425% would make a 100%, or a 425 luck would make a 100 luck, for example. I don't know the numbers. They are permanent increases to the account. So yes, either consume them,
refreshing,
or if you're really planning on long-term making legendaries or optimizing your money from the Lunar New Year Festival, you probably want to make them. You probably want to squoosh them together into larger ones. But I wouldn't worry about it. I didn't do anything like that for 10 years at least. I mostly just consumed them. I believe the cap is 300. I have received 2 unstable hides from Goblin on Top. Very generous, Mr. or Mrs. on Top.
Armored up.
They are salvageable.
I was manufactured to the...
And I've gotten some leather from those. Always happy to help. With friends like you, ... All Alright, we have to rescue the queen. I thought that's Logan's job, but fine, whatever.
It's to kill rising.
I got many hides. And a hat I can't wear. Okay. Hi there. I'm Lens. I'll be your waste paper basket this evening.
Now I shall break you.
I live in
Eat my dust.
Okay. I'm helping him clear out his inventory or his bank, clearly. I live in the lovely
Begin destruction protocol.
and scenic Silicon Valley in California's Bay Area.
Eat my dust.
Now I shall break you.
All right, we got some leather. Who doesn't like leather? The Queen needs me. Manchester, England. I spent, I believe, about 10 or 11 days in London. I loved it. I loved London. It's a long time ago, though.
Eat my dust.
I can use the hats. I can't use the hairbrush. I mean, you know, unless either beard and mustache hair or back hair counts. I did a little bit of everything in IT. Everything from system administration, system programming, telecom stuff, everything from punch downs to switch configuration. The only thing that would normally fall into the IT bailiwick that I never did much with was network. Queensland. I can speak Australian like a native. Rod Laver. That's it. I can pronounce the name of the greatest tennis player who ever lived with a flawless Australian accent. Yeah, I never did much with the networking stuff. You know, apart from, using a net mask was about the limit of it. But a lot of my career was spent on Unix machines and then later on PCs. I've worked with everything from Windows 3.11, Windows for work groups, all the way up to a Cray supercomputer. And let's see.
There you are, Initiate.
Don't tell anyone.
Ready to lay a trap for our friend.
But this
Kelly?
is one of my name
Are
tags.
your agents prepared?
Our agents, my friend. You're a member of the Order of Whispers now. We all work as one. Everything's arranged. We've set traps throughout the room, and we'll create a magical duplicate of Queen Jenna to distract Kellic.
But the real Queen Jenna will be safe, right?
Oh,
Absolutely.
you're a whiner,
You
Logan.
have my word on the honor of our
I did
order.
for 7 years.
Good. Kellogg's been sighted near the palace grounds. He should be here any minute now.
Fisbick, I think he started off being a genuine enthusiast, but it became a bit of a
The
shtick
bomb should be easy to arm.
later on
Been strategically
because he
placed
was
to
making
just
money for his
activation.
family. So I don't disagree with you at all. I actually was there after and before jobs. I was there during the John Scully years and Michael Spindler years. Met and chatted with Scully a couple of times.
The bomb should be ready now.
I hesitate to say met George Lucas, but saw George Lucas when he came to look at the Cray.
Eat my dust.
If you remember Night Court, I met Harry Anderson when he came to look at the Cray.
Your Majesty, my beloved Queen, Jenna, you have to listen. I won't hurt you. I just need your blood.
It will
I
save
won't hurt you.
Kryta.
I just need your
Corporal
blood.
Kellic, drop your weapons and surrender. You're not thinking clearly.
No. I need her blood. Royal blood. Don't you understand? It can cure the corruption. Make us all free.
It's not true. Alastia Crow lied to you, Kellic. She did this just to endanger the Queen.
No. No, you're wrong. There has to be a way. Tell me. No, this can't be the truth. I'll kill you all.
That'll solve the problem. Oh, Logan. Logan.
Friend, take you. I won't give in.
Oh, I bet you probably will. Hey, that kind of hurt.
That feels good.
As undead attacks go, pretty underwhelming.
Poor Kellic. His mistakes were rooted in his love
I
for
had
Queen
root
and
privilege on a Cray.
So many mistakes. Made for all the right reasons.
Cray XMP
The Queen
48.
could have been killed by someone who loved her. Even... I mean, it really makes you think.
It's all right, Logan. The Queen is safe. Focus on the future, and Kryta will stay safe too.
Well done, Initiate.
Logan.
You showed tremendous cunning and nerve. I'm proud you're a member
A
of
new
the
Norn
Order of
Mesmer?
Whispers. Now for the rest
I
of
think
your
I've got a
initiation.
Norn Mesmer.
Go to Lion's Arch. There you'll be contacted by an apple merchant. Meet with him to get your first formal assignment.
I look forward to it. It's time to be part of a bigger world. Logan, are you all right? You seem rattled.
I'm glad Jen is safe, but I realize now
Thank
that
you
her
for dropping
safety
by.
is
I
temporary.
appreciate it very
Everything
much.
is temporary.
Sleep well.
Unless the dragons can be stopped. The dragons
Pleasant
can't be
dreams.
defeated by one person, or even one nation.
I don't really get pleasant dreams. I
Has
get
to be
weird
another way.
dreams.
Do you think we can overcome our mistakes, my friend?
No,
Make
we're
up for
screwed.
the things we've done?
Nope, we're
I
screwed.
know we can, Logan. Mistakes make
No
us
chance
human.
of Jenna being killed.
It's
She's
rising
a
up again
mesmer,
that makes us heroes.
more than capable of defending herself. She
I've been
defended
too
the
focused on
city
keeping the queen safe.
from
I love being at her
siege
side, but
in one of the Living
maybe
World
that's not
seasons.
where I can best defend
She
her.
put up a huge
Or
mesmer shield,
An
and
old
the
friend named Keith asked me to meet her at
catapult
Lion's Arch.
rocks just went.
I think I'll take her
"Meow,
up on that.
boink."
I think that's an excellent idea. I'll see you in Lion's Arch.
All done.
Where are we? This is Chapter 3. We're at 4 of 13. We did finish 2, didn't we? Yes, we did. 20 out of 20. No? 20 out of 20 complete, but we have a couple more we can complete. We can do events. 4 more events and a world boss. Those will all give us points, but over here we've got a lot of stuff in the Adventure Guide Volume 3. I will reiterate, for new players, if you want to level at a somewhat accelerated pace, following the Adventure Guide is the way to go. Let's see, is that an elite? No. Is it Glamour that has Time Warp? Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can't get our way to Glamour and get Time Warp soon-ish. 9 points, we can get Time Warp and replace the Hounds of Balthazar, which, while they're nice, I mean, who doesn't like flaming doggies, right? They're not really good. Basically, essentially, none of the racial skills are good, which is probably a good thing, given how important they can be, say, in WoW, where, for instance, in the past, when there's a raid, a race to world first for one of the raid wings, what you'll see is, or have seen in the past, is entire guilds doing race changes to get access to a racial ability. An embroidered coin purse. It had 1 silver, 33 copper. What can I buy for that? I think I'm rich. 20 power. How about power and vitality? New boots. We're mostly going power right now, so we'll go with assassins because that gives you a better crit chance. We have new shoes, and new shoes, as we've made clear, they're an item of attire. An item of attire require new dyes.
All things have a right to grow.
All things have a right to grow. Sure they do. You'll notice we can't sell the shoes, nor can we salvage the shoes. There are only two things you can do with basically sort of a, as you level up, you get certain rewards. A level reward item like this can't be salvaged, can't be sold. There are two ways to get rid of it. One is to get 3 other green items and throw all 3 of them into the Mystic Forge. The other is the very complicated and precise action of dragging them out of your inventory and clicking yes. Be careful with that trick. That's a secret trick known only to the savviest of Guild Wars 2 players. Plus, we also get a weapon container. We have already unlocked most of the cosmetics here. We have not, the spear gun we've not unlocked, but then it's not exciting. It's really honestly not exciting at all. Is that, nope, the shield. Not interested in shield either. At least not for this character. Warhorn we can't use. So let's pick something we can use. Current swords are 317 and 310. And this one is 310 also. And it's Condi. He said.
Eat my dust.
How about the pistol? $319, the current one we have.
Speak quickly.
$319. What the hell's going on here? Okay, how about the scepter? $313.
May the six watch over.
Not much of an improvement, but hey, we'll take what we can get. Also, I think the cosmetic on that one's not bad.
I feel strong.
Nothing special. It's okay. It's glowy, you know.
Threshold achieved.
You pretty much always want something glowy. I am going to AFK for a sec and refill my coffee cup. I will be right.
Urge to kill rising.
What can I do for you?
Eat my dust.
How's it going?
Lucky you, I'm back. Okay, lucky is possibly a very, very slight exaggeration.
Speak quickly.
All right. Least ergonomic chair you've ever seen? Oh yeah. Let me actually show you this one. Boy. It's the opposite of what everybody says you should have. But I have a long history of back problems. I once spent a month horizontal. Thank God during the 1984 Olympics, where I've gotten stark raving mad. I have a long history of back problems. And back problems are incredibly idiosyncratic.
Refreshing.
And I have found over the years, when I was at that computer company named after a fruit, they had a policy. If you needed an ergonomic chair, you could get one. And I tried them out. I tried the Aeron, Herman Miller Aeron. Made things worse. The only thing that worked was a hard-backed, straight-backed chair that I dragged from our cafe in our building. And so for me, not for most people, a hard-backed, straight-backed chair like that one that I just showed you is the best.
Eat my dust.
And I know it doesn't make sense, but one of my genetic inheritances from my father was the bad back. My dad had several surgeries on his back and spent most of the last, 15 years or 20 years of his life either sleeping in a rock-hard bed or a lot of times sleeping in a chair, sitting up. Back problems are no bleeping joke. If you find something that works, like I have, you just stick with it. But I do not recommend a hardback, straightback chair to anyone, any other human being on the planet. In short. All right, we were going to start running through more of Gendarn Fields. That one, I think. Yeah, was having problems with your back and chair. Scared you. Yeah, exactly. Do what works, because that's my experience, is that it is enormously idiosyncratic. That what works perfectly for one person isn't going to work at all for another. All the way down there? What? Okay, we'll go there. Yeah, if you've had back problems, you know how incredibly debilitating they can be. They are, if you've never had back problems, pray you never get them. They are just awful. Not sure why this is showing up as red on the screen. You can probably hear the kids in the courtyard screaming. Oh, it's this. That's what it is. It's the Scarlet mission. In which case, I'm suddenly no longer interested in partaking in this fight. So we'll come over here instead. Only 35, so your hip and back pain is probably not even real pain. You're just a huge baby. No. It happened, like I said, for me in 1984. And I can place it exactly how it happened. It was the 4th of July weekend. And a bunch of high school friends and I got together. And we played softball all day in the hot sun. And then we were going over to our friend Gerald, over to Gerald's house because he had a pool. I'm going to have a barbecue and a pool party after playing softball for hours. And I bent over to pick up the softball after we were done, and I felt my back go boing. I spent most of the party in the pool because no pain at all in the pool. No pressure on the back at all. Up, down, sideways, nothing. Just floating in the water. It's glorious. And then I spent the next month in bed. I was 23. do not try and convince yourself that you're a baby when it comes to back pain. Man, it is incredibly debilitating.
The plan was sound, but we didn't execute. We didn't kill enough of them. All we did was rile them up, and now they're coming here.
Now, I've been having a lot less problems. I've lost a lot of weight. If you're a round boy like me, then losing weight might help.
I achieve things. I'm an achiever.
Portal closer, yay! 10 achievement points, daily portal closer, just for killing that one batch of mobs. I'll take that. Oh, the gift from Scarlet. Let this be a warning to all of you. If you're involved in an event and you get a nice present from Scarlet, what you do is you open it, and you die. Ah, Skinny. Well, a lot of people recommended a lot of things. I'm not going to do that. Because, again, everything is so idiosyncratic with backs. My back problem is entirely different from my dad's. And I know you mentioned the hip. I get, when my back is out, oops, haha, got away. I get pain along the line of my hip. Sciatic pain. Oh, I am almost dead. I am dead. Well, I'm going to be dead real quick because they're all, whoops, one of them died. Okay, hi, bye, guys. I know you guys are busy. I'm going to let you do your work. And, okay, well, some of you are going to die for having the temerity to attack me. Like that. We'll take a moment. Oh! That's the clumsiest abomination in the history of the world. He got stuck on the wall. What a loser. Rubble. Barney Rubble? That's an old guy reference. Yeah, most of your back pain shoots into the hip. Finding the right chair, though, is a life changer. Absolutely. In my case, it wasn't any chair. It's just specific types of chair. The hard back, straight back. Well, why not? Oh, I summoned the dogs. And that'll be a heart complete.
Eat my dust.
And I'll keep saying eat my dust, apparently. Oh, here they are. Okay, my dogs get to do something. Yay! I'm sure they feel very validated.
That's good.
Haha, missed me again.
Another.
Oh, I'm not going to hang around for another 4 minutes and 37 seconds.
Urge to kill rising.
You refuse to stand? Yeah, I'm too fat and lazy. And also, I actually was never comfortable standing when the back was bothering me either. For me, when the back is bothering me, I need the hard back, straight back chair, and I usually need an object on the floor that I can put my right foot on to raise the right leg and knee, which reduces the pressure on my right, along the line of my right hip. And that reduces the pain from the sciatica. And yeah, guys, if you've never had back trouble, just be aware. It fucking sucks. And it ain't just an old guy thing. Like I said, it happened to me at 23. I think it happened to my dad when he was in the Navy, so probably somewhere around the same. Yeah, it would have been about the same. Maybe a couple years older. All right, we've got this waypoint. Oh, I've managed to drive myself into a pit. Seems like everyone who leaves the military has horrible back problems. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. We just thought it was Humvees. Yeah, my dad was in the Navy.
All new to me.
Oh, we've got a POI back here. I'm going to run for it. Stupid centaurs. Pony boys. All right, we've got a hero point in here, I believe. We avoid the trolls. And we deal with the ooze.
To kill rising. Take that.
Take that. Did that give us a goodie? No, so we have to. He gives us a beverage, it gives us a hero point, and it turns us into an ooze. Trolls, not the smartest.
Urge to kill rising.
Running out of endurance.
I'm running out of endurance, but I dinged. 36.
Eat my dust.
Clench your head on the door frame after insulting the horse people. Karma. Well, yeah. I guess I've been saddled with a little bad luck.
Armored up.
Threshold achieved.
I have 2 headpieces, either one of which... No, that one's not an improvement. That one is. We'll wear that one. That's a new item of attire, which means... new
I
dies.
was manufactured to the highest
I'm not going to
standards.
apologize for that joke, by the way. And our new dies are... okay, kind of cool. Shadow Yellow,
My dust.
Midnight Purple, and Antique Olive. Actually, almost dashing.
Urge to kill rising.
Another player. Juvenile Carrion Devourer. Oh, come on. Tatum Tonka. You trained that pet. That pet loves you. That pet deserves a name. I'm always quietly, judgmentally saddened when I see a ranger or mechanist who has not named their pet. It always just seems sad.
stay alert anyway. I will feed you to the beasts.
We have a script burglar! Oh, I started whacking on him too soon. Pardon my phrasing on that one. That was impolitic. I am a chicken right now.
Not worth the effort.
Come back here, you little bastard. Oh my god.
Makes me sick.
That feels good.
Alright, we got a bag of loot from him. I am once again a chicken. As is my, my clone, also a chicken. We got him. Need CC for the Berg bad. Can understand not naming your pet as a ranger, considering the number of pets you can end up with. Yeah, but come on, it's so many opportunities for goofy names. I mean, granted, that's not maybe the most normal reason one would have for wanting to name them. You know, I name my boar pets Hormel.
Urge to kill rising.
My mech pet is named Dave the Murderbot. That's no problem.
Refreshing.
Of all of the sins that can be committed in chat, I would say accidental capitalization is pretty low on the list. Hi.
Welcome.
Oh, I missed another bag of loot. Can't have that. Did that just vanish on me, or do you just have to walk up to it?
I feel
Thought you had to pick it up.
strong.
In which case, me unhappy. You make me unhappy.
I am hearing rumors about an escape or rescue attempt.
Uh-huh. That's the heart complete, and I've been knocked down again. Look, jerk. Okay, you want to play games with me? I have a sword, and I know how to use it. Badly, but I do know how.
Your victory will be short-lived.
My victory will be short-lived. Well, yeah, but you're dead, dude. I don't know. My victory over you is probably longer-lived than you. All right. And jump. Oh, glorious. Not so glorious. Okay, saying glorious and then immediately going gloop into the water, that's less than glorious.
Eat my dust.
Let's see what we have gotten.
This is most remarkable.
These shoes are not as good as the shoes I'm wearing. I cannot use that. That is a 347 staff, which is better than our current staff. We have a shield. Do we have a shield? We have not yet put aside a shield. We now have a shield. Not quite as good as what we've got. Gloves we can't use. Salvage.
This is most remarkable.
Craftables and luck. As long as I keep doing that, I guess I'll never be SOL. I do not do any game dev. Well, in the past, I have done... It's kind of hard to describe, but I'm going to try anyway. Before computer gaming was a thing, I did a lot of board gaming. And so I have done a lot of board gaming and RPG design. Informally. I wanted to do game dev, certainly, when I was younger. A couple of friends did a couple of years at Electronic Arts years ago. Back before it sucked. Or at least sucked less. But I've done some board game design and some informal RPG design. And by that I mean, for instance, there was, and still is, a science fiction role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game, called Traveler. And it was from Game Design Workshop. And it had the most extensive support materials, scenarios, additional game plugins, an entire universe, because it was set in the distant future. They had board games like the Fifth Frontier War was a huge board game talking about this interstellar war, and they had a bunch of role-playing game supplements for it. Yeah, well, the game itself I was never a huge fan of, but I loved the supplementary materials. There were so many of them. Everything from ship combat rules to fleet combat rules. There was a rule set they brought out called Trillion Credit Squadron, which basically was a miniatures game, just pencil and paper, where you would design squadrons, and then there were rules for having 2 squadrons fight. They had character-to-character fighting board game rules, that you could transplant into the game system. So the supplementary materials were amazing, but I wasn't a big fan of the game system. On the other hand, there's a company called Chaosium. I don't remember the Traveler RPG computer game, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. There's also a company called Chaosium, which was actually local. I worked in a game store for a number of years, and the guys from Chaosium were regulars. I worked at Games of Berkeley. Guess where? In Berkeley. And they're probably best known for Call of Cthulhu games, right? But they also had a set of rules that came out shortly after Dungeons & Dragons called RuneQuest, which I always preferred to D&D. But they used that game system from RuneQuest for Call of Cthulhu, for a game based on Michael Moorcock's books called Stormbringer. They had a Camelot-based game, and they had a Ringworld-based science fiction role-playing game that used the same basic rules as Call of Cthulhu. So I did a complete revamp and transplanted the character creation and world setting for all of the Traveler stuff into the Ringworld game system to make a mashup. The character design, the gameplay, the stats, the dice rolling, all of that was out of Ringworld. But the game setting and character creation came out of Traveler. So I've always been a math wonk and a game wonk. So it was relatively easy for me to just, play with the numbers sufficiently. I ruined a couple of games for myself. The original Starfleet Battles, which was a Star Trek based game that didn't have the license, so they had to change. Originally it was, I think, even called Star Trek Battles. Changed it to Starfleet Battles. They changed the name on the Klingons to something else, that kind of stuff. And I did a complete analysis of all of the weapons in the game, and their range and the damage, and I optimized the entire thing to death. I optimized the fun out of the game. And I did that as a second game. There was another game called
That feels good.
called Circus Maximus that was a chariot racing game. And once again, because I had felt the urgent need to math everything. Klingons renamed. That's an old joke.
Feels good.
I once again I ruined the game by
Better go sit down.
applying math and finding out optimal tactics and strategies. Now you say Klingons were renamed to Dingleberries. The only time I have ever laughed in a public restroom was at the University of California, Berkeley Life Sciences Building restroom on the first floor, where someone had written on the side of the stall, the Starship Enterprise on a mission to Uranus to clear out the Klingons.
I hope you're here to help.
It just caught me by surprise. And I laughed in a public restroom. I don't think anyone else was in there,
Strength in numbers.
but
We must all fight.
Armored
we
up.
must all fight and strengthen numbers. Come on, both of you. I'll take both of you on. You missed me, and come on over here. Thank you. I'll codwallop both of you.
You were lucky the sun was in my
Some guy walked out with a red face for sure. Yeah, me.
Thanks for the match.
Him and him.
May the Six watch over you.
Come on, dude. You're not just going to stand there, are you? Oh, somebody crippled me.
Urge to kill rising.
And this one's got a ranged attack. Jerk. I think I'm going to let you just get away with that. Ha ha!
Better go sit down.
Heart complete.
I'll be feeling that.
Eat my dust.
Let's grab the Vista. And again, I am using the Raptor because that's the only mount a new player is going to get. I believe they get it at level 10. And it's good for, I think, 10 hours, maybe 12 hours. I'm not high enough. Of game time. At which point it goes away as an encouragement to get you to buy the game. Thank you, Goblin. Mr. or Ms. Goblin on top. There was a Bond villain named Onatop, I believe, played by Famke Janssen. You see the incredible trivia that sticks in my head? You know, in lieu of anything important, I remember that Famke Janssen's character in one of the Bond movies was named Onatop. I could have remembered something interesting. Nope. My brain wants to remember that. Thanks, brain. I have completed another event. That's completing events number 2. That's a level to level 37. Oh, guess what, guys? New attire.
Target destroyed.
Means new dice. Here we go once again. Kind of liked this one, but here we go. I liked the other one better. Shy Violet, Old Penny, and Root. I mean, they don't do a bad job in coordinating the colors. The colors are not just randomly selected. They are like randomly selected from connected groups, I think. So you don't often get things that clash horribly. but you're not always going to get something you may find aesthetically pleasing. Still, it could be worse. The pink one I had yesterday was a war crime. All right, we are going to grab the last point in. That opens up Time Warp. And we can swap out the Hounds of Balthazar for Time Warp. What Time Warp is on a 2-minute cooldown. It gives quickness for 1 second. Really? 1 second? Oh, every second for 5 seconds. So quickness for 5 seconds. All of your skills and actions go faster. It slows enemies and gives you super speed. And that's a combo field ethereal. So I can drop that now and use any of my finishers. Like this is a projectile finisher. I'm not sure what ethereal... I don't remember ethereal combo field at all. But if I drop this and hit this, we'll get a combo. So I'm going to do that.
Oh, now that's a view.
I'm going to target this Spooter. We're going to drop that. And I'm guessing it was the confusion, but I don't know that for a fact.
Eat my dust.
That the ethereal field with the projectile finisher is a confusion, but I'm not positive. We have the Awakened. This is a superb way of getting dead. Those are all veterans. Time for me to get dead. They feared me. In this case, I'm fine with that, because if I'm afraid, they're not killing me. Another player has come in. These can pop up in the first zones, the first maps for each race, and they are a great XP source. So if you see the Awakened and you're doing something where you would like the XP, track them down. They will appear in batches, and after you kill a batch, if you don't get another one of these sort of reality cracks, track down one of the other ones. There'll be a number of locations on the map where these are happening at the same time. And usually you'll end up with a bunch of other players. And mind you, this is a level 25 to 35 zone, I think. And look how many players got here in a hurry. They were already in this map. Some people, I saw a guy posting that he felt that the game seemed dead to him when he tried it. And I don't understand that, because this is what it's like in most zones, most maps, if some sort of event happens. A world boss or the Awakened invasion. This is the kind of thing that, I mean, look, we got 6 or 8 people running around here. More coming in. So this is why I am such a fan of the open world in Guild Wars 2. Is I'm just riding around doing stuff.
This is the end.
Nothing specific, nothing important, certainly. And you want to make sure you get hits in on as many as possible. So you want to make sure you tag the mobs. It looks like this little area is done. We have another one to the northeast.
Do set. Set.
And the closest one is there. But this is the kind of stuff that I think Guild Wars 2 does better than every other MMO, and I don't even think it's close. This kind of open world gameplay that brings players who don't know each other together. to just kill a bunch of NPCs. Or fight a big boss. Pardon the clang. That was the kids in the courtyard.
For great justice.
So you'll notice I'm just running around trying to make sure I get a tag in on everything. Because that way, again, if you've tagged the mob, you will get XP for it and any loot boxes. Oh, I don't know. How about we do a time skip for everybody?
You're vulnerable.
Running out of endurance.
More mobs incoming. Hi, guys. Where you going?
That feels good.
Don't know who I was talking to when I said that feels good. One of the local kids has got some kind of big piece of metal that he uses for something, and he, as you can probably hear, occasionally will drop it. And it's a huge clang fest. Good catching this before heading to bed. Have a Twitch channel as well? Yes, I do. Magnifying Lens. And I am dual casting. So if you notice that I'm commenting to something and you don't see what I'm commenting to, it's the other platform. But yeah, it's Magnifying Lens in both locations. That is on the other side of the mountains. And I can get there? Yeah, I can. So yeah, I simulcast to both. I use Restream. And then after the 2-day waiting period, I then also post to YouTube. So everything eventually ends up on YouTube, if not live later. But it should go up live as well. Thank you very much for dropping by. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Genuinely. I do this for my fun, but if other people are having fun with it, that's just so much better. Oh, and hi guys. Oh, they died right as I do my big spinorama attack on them. Jerks. Yeah, I have set up a number of playlists there, mostly for when I did free-to-play throughs on games, where I played games that I'd played in the past as what it would be like for a new free-to-play player. And I try to be complimentary and critical where appropriate about their free-to-play implementations. I've got like 8 or 10 of those. Guild Wars 2, Star Wars The Old Republic, Lord of the Rings Online, lots and lots. Warframe.
Too strong. In deep trouble there.
Refreshing.
Need help here.
Initially, I used YouTube just to store my VODs, but event failed. We failed to defeat the Awakened? Wow. Don't see that very often. We almost always beat them. I blame you guys, clearly. I mean, it couldn't be me. Obviously, it couldn't be me. That just wouldn't make sense. These pants are not as good as the pants I'm currently wearing, which is disheartening to me. Wow. We filled up our inventory. Right, let's deconstruct the stuff we know we don't need and can't use. Which we didn't get a lot of. Mostly we got stuff we can use. Which is kind of surprising in and of itself. Let's see. There should be a vendor in here whom I can sell crap to. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Let's see. We got another salvage kit.
Eat my dust.
These pants are not as good. The sword, the two-hander, is $292. It's better. The awakened staff, we got 2 awakened level 80 items. We use the higher tier salvage-o-matic on those. Yay! We got Ecto. We get another Ecto? We just got just the one Ecto. How disappointing. Rifle of $399. Slight improvement.
Take the west road and head up north a ways.
North? But I just came from north.
Refreshing.
Pistol is better. We got some boxes of level 80, probably 80. It's actually random. Plum and phylacteries are yellow boxes and green boxes. Those are end game tier stuff because what we were fighting was scaled end game stuff. As soon as you find yourself to your PC, you'll follow on Twitch. Thank you very, very much. I don't play just Guild Wars 2, but it is the game I play and stream most.
No.
About a third of my hours are streamed.
Ettins lamentably are blocking our progress. My reckless...
Yeah, Ectos. I only wish that I'd been smart enough to sell my Ectos during the festival when they were selling for so much and then just buying them back later. Probably could have made, I don't know, 80 gold, something like that. No small amount. This is a hat that is identical to the hat that I am currently wearing. These shoes are less good. The axe is probably better. It is.
Refreshing.
Dagger, 325. Exact power ferocity. Power ferocity. Grawl slang. Absolutely identical. And the spear is a 341. Better. Boop, 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 boop. All right, we've tidied up after that big event. We got something finished. Daily perform 3 combo skills. I was talking about combo skills, and there you go. We did not get to defeat an elite enemy. Mind you, we defeated a champion, which is higher tier than elite, but I didn't get credit for it. View of Vista and Cantha. I can't do that on this character. We are currently 38, and our next specialization opens at 45. So we probably want to start saving our hero points to get ready to add a second specialization line.
Eat my dust.
Well, this is a nice signet, but I'm really tired of telling myself to eat my own dust. How about we go with that one instead? Blissful silence. Relatively. Alright, recover sacks stolen by the Ettins and trolls. Oh, also we can res people. Poor dead guys. I feel bad for dead guys. No, because they're dead. What do they have to look forward to every day when they wake up dead? Not much. Food sack. Sheriff. Kargoth Bloodclaw. Look, we have a sack of food and we have a rabbit. why can't I just take a whack at the rabbit and have that provide a little food, a little sustenance for the soldiers? Makes sense to me. Of course, something making sense to me is probably not as necessarily as much of a good thing as I was kind of implying. That cave troll is going to drop rocks on my head because he's a jerk. Because he was a jerk. Set the frost trap. I love the definitely rusty squealing noise the frost traps make. Somebody did kill the rabbit. I can see that.
Eat my that feels good.
Let's kill the Etten and heart complete. Wow, what a drama queen. I'm just running around leveling. Doing hearts where I find them. We're going to murder some dredge now. If you're not familiar with the dredge are communist blind mole rats. Part of the Moletariat, and I'm not making that up. Usually play ranged champs in game and abuse kiting. So going no armor is your shtick. I am generally more of a ranged player as well, and I would say that for the most part, most Mesmers are played as ranged. I'm not doing so probably because I'm dumb.
That feels good.
So I do wonder which came first. Are we going to make this race out of blind mole rats? Or are we going to make a joke out of the Moletariat and therefore we'll make them blind mole rats? Communist blind mole rats, to be precise. I need a shovel. Well, fortunately, there's a mining supply, so I now have a shovel. Unrefined dredge ore. Wait, is this the ore that belongs to the unrefined dredge? No, the ones who swear? Nowadays, they would have blue hair too. Now, the funny thing is, blue hair, that used to mean an old person. Because of the old ladies who would dye their hair blue. Silver blue.
I'm here to help.
Funny how that's changed, huh?
That feels good.
Times change. Getting close. The thing is, I'm old enough to remember when one did not joke about communism.
That feels good.
I mean, when I was born, Eisenhower was still president. Okay? That's old. And please, no one even sarcastically go, Eisenhower? Thank you. What's an Eisenhower? Now, a couple weeks after I was born, Kennedy was elected. Same as an Oppenheimer. Yeah, they're exactly the same. Old. Old guy stuff. It's all old guy stuff.
I'm disappointed. You're too nice to them, Balan. Those fights aren't even a real challenge.
I have this under control.
I will face the bear.
I'll tell you what.
Hello, bear. I accept my fate. I will face the bear. Hey, hi, bear. Didn't we just fight? I've received 100 messages in chat today, according to Restream. Thank you, guys. And I actually mean thank you, because I think that I have more fun, I'm more engaged, and I'm a better streamer when I have an active chat. Thank you guys very much.
Strong.
Six of them probably you because you can't shut the fuck up. Hey, I'm fine with that. I consider that a plus, not a minus.
That feels good.
I have defeated 25 out of 25 enemies. We are now 38.75, 76. Don't think we're quite gonna make 40. Tonight. So I think I'll do at least one more day of this. I will tomorrow. We'll get to level 40. You'll get to meet one. The mentor for the Order of Whispers. A well-loved Guild Wars 2 character, Tybalt. And presumably finish out the level 40 storyline. And the level 40 storyline, the highlight of that is you get a bunch of juvenile adults who used to be called Destiny's Edge having a big meeting and argument, and then you get a key. It's like a key farm, except you don't actually have to do anything. I think that the Vigil mentor is quite good. I think Tybalt is the best. And the writing for him, I should say. It's really the writing. It's always about the writing for stuff like that, for character. But I can't stand the character, ooh, yay, who is the mentor for the Priory. Just, to my mind, it's not a character, it's a Mad Lib. Sometimes you get a character who feels like they could be a person. And sometimes you get a character who feels like the writer who invented them used a random name generator or a random characteristic generator to just give them a collection of quirks and think that's a character. So Siren is the mentor for the Priory, and she's a giggling, hugely unserious Sylvari who talks about things and says, "Ooh, that's cherry." They'll say something is cherry, meaning cool or neat or whatever. But that's not a character. That's a quirk. And quirk does not make character. Interesting to see how AI takes over character interaction story. I think it's possible that they can create interesting characters' backstories, but there's more to it than just an interesting, deep backstory. And a lot of the writers, human writers, can't do it. So I'm not overly hopeful about it. I think that generally speaking, I have friends who work in AI. Is a very useful tool. How useful? Time will tell. But for a lot of people, they're hand-waving it as fixing problems that it will most likely never be able to fix. Not because the problems are unfixable, but because that's not the way AI works. With LLM, you can talk with a character for hours and get endlessly responsive dialogue. Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons some people are having what amount to essentially psychotic breaks because they're getting overly involved in their LLMs.
May the Six watch over you.
374, that's probably an improved scepter. It is. Friend of mine recently went to work for Anthropic.
Tell me again.
And joked today that the CEO
Just stay alert, okay?
You bet.
gave an emoticon reaction to something he said in a Slack chat. It's like, woo! I got recognized by the CEO. All right, this is a new and improved chest piece.
Are you well? You need something?
Dario, I think he said, was the name of the CEO. Dario something. Argue with Copilot all the time. And the thing is, something like arguing with an AI can be a really good safety valve to make sure that you're not missing something in your argument. It can be a very useful tool, like a lot of things in AI. A useful tool when aimed correctly. It is an extraordinarily useful tool. A lot of my friends who are still working here in Silicon Valley in the industry, almost all of them are using coding AI to help them with their coding. It's not replacing them, but what it does do is it allows you to some degree, automate a lot of the simple stuff. Give me a routine that if I feed it these inputs will give me these outputs. Bloop, here it is. And then they can tune that if it needs it. They check, make sure it works, and they've saved themselves a couple of hours. And that's the kind of thing that right now AI can do very, very well. You do use it to find ways to not say something rude when you're trying to give criticism, or also it can be useful for summarizing and giving a synopsis on things. One of the things that people are finding, unfortunately, is a lot of college work now has to be done as exams, because too much of the standard homework that they give and term papers and stuff is just vomited AI, or vomited AI that has been individually tuned for the smarter people. And so a lot of classwork in college, university is going to end up having to be done live. And AI ain't going to help with that. Coding may on it, but it can be nice getting a bulked out stuff. Same for Grok now, especially at PhD level. One of my friends is using, I can't remember, might be Claude, to learn. He's using a language he's never used before, and is feeding it the information, and he's using it both as a preliminary coding tool and as a learning tool. And so what he hopes to get to is the point where he can give it simple instructions to get simple things done, and then for complicated stuff, he'll break that down into chunks and hand it to that, and then hand reassemble it. I think he's doing web front-end stuff, and he's never done web front-end stuff. And
Tell me
so
again.
that's the kind of
Do I
thing,
hear
again,
I see a
an
pirate?
extremely useful and
Just stay
powerful
alert,
tool.
Okay.
You bet.
Not a panacea. However, if you want to talk about a disruptive technology, yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot more disruptive than AI promises to be. That's for sure. Oh, come on, that didn't... You cannot be serious.
Urge to kill rising.
Really is brilliant for schooling already, and you get more one-on-one help catered to your problems. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I mean, it is going to change an awful lot of things. And the end result, we really don't know. I'm not one who has the doomsaying, end of civilization stuff, although a couple of my AI friends, who obviously are more knowledgeable than me, they are deeply concerned about that stuff. Generally, humans adapt. But on the other hand, if you've never read I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream by Harlan Ellison, let's just say it makes Skynet look warm and cuddly. What I'm going to do as I tie things up for the evening, we're here at level 39, is because I'm over level 35, at which point any free-to-play player would be able to get to Lion's Arch. I am going to go to Lion's Arch. That tends to be the single biggest hub in the game. It's very busy. There's a lot of conversation. Partake in your at your own risk. Actually, generally, Lion's Arch conversation is pretty good. It doesn't get political, in my experience, at least not very often. Your concern is that it'll lead to some kind of war for sure. People get too displaced by it. It's interesting, you mentioned displacement. About 15 or 20 years ago, the Department of Defense, not the most progressive and forward-thinking of environments, worked on a significant long-term project on the biggest threats to America and to American security and defense. Radical Islam was not the top risk to American stability and safety. Climate change. Not because of the climate change, but because of the displacement and disruption worldwide climate change will cause. We'll see a big uptick in international issues, problems, wars. In the long term, that's the biggest danger we face. And that's from the Department of Defense. Like I said, this is not some liberal think tank. It's the DoD. So yeah, you add in something like AI, and that is definitely another addition of heat in the pot of water that can bring it to a boil. But I don't want to get too political, so I am going to call it here. As always, I am very grateful to all of you for hanging out. Particularly thankful for the chatters. No, nothing to apologize for. Literally nothing to apologize for. But I want to thank everyone, particularly the chatters tonight. As I said, when I have a lively chat, I'm more engaged, and I think I'm a better streamer, and I have a better time. So I had a good time, and I hope I was more entertaining. But regardless, I'll be back at this tomorrow. We are level 39. I will continue to run around in Gendaran Fields and get to level 40. That'll open up the next chapter of the storyline. I'll play through that. You'll meet Tybalt Leftpaw. We will meet Destiny's Edge and watch them squabble like 9-year-old children, and we'll get a key to open up a lockbox. Thank you all very, very much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you will see me soon. Tomorrow, back at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. I think it's morning in New Zealand when I start. Might be afternoon. But my spiel works, so I'm not going to change it. Bad enough I have to change one spiel today. Because now dysfunction, which is not a problem that I have, that kind. I'm ruined. My spiel is ruined for life. Anyway, I'm back tomorrow. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Have a great rest of your Thursday. And hopefully you get through your work week. Friday, weekend starts. That sounds nice. I hope yours kicks ass. I'm back tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. And ciao for now. Bye, guys.